participants. Are we live or is anyone
Yes, we're
here?
live on YouTube.
We
now.
are live. Yes, we are live right now.
I mean the participants can.
Yes.
Okay, we have 2 minutes to go, guys.
There's one question still for the audience to ask questions. Is that through the chat or through Q&A? I think it's important to clarify at the beginning.
Yes, I will clarify that. I will just do a quick welcome and I will clarify that. It will be through Q&A. Chat is also open to them, but we will request them to make it through Q&A.
Wonderful, thanks.
I see attendees numbers is increasing, so let us also give it at least 2 minutes or so more to make sure all the registrants.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's a question in the Q&A about potential certification of participation. Is that the case for this session?
No, for this session, we will not be providing a certification. Okay, we will be waiting for another 30 seconds and we will be starting. I think we can start now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first Digital Commons Publishing Services webinar. I am Yasemin Solay, and I'm working as a Solution Sales Manager responsible for the Research Intelligence Solutions. I can see that there's a high level of attendance. Thank you all for joining the webinar today. We are hoping that this will be the first of the Digital Commons webinar series that we are planning to conduct in the future. For today's webinar, we will be emphasizing on how Digital Commons can help in increasing the visibility of our scholarly journal and how University of Karbala, together with Digital Commons, has increased their citations, along with being indexed on Scopus and other equivalent indexations. As you can see on the agenda, we will be starting with Anton Dektev from the Research Intelligence team at Elsevier, who will be giving a general overview of Digital Commons publishing services. Then we will continue with our guest speaker, Professor Ahmet Abdullatif, who is the editor-in-chief of Karbala International Journal of Modern Science, and also Professor of Physics Department at University of Karbala. Professor Ahmet will be talking about the success of Karbala Journal. And we will close our webinar with our Digital Commons expert, Pramito Chatterjee, who's the Director of Journals at Elsevier, and we'll be talking about the roadmap of Digital Commons. If everyone is ready, let's start. Please use chat for any comments that you might have and the Q&A section for your questions, and we will be addressing all your questions in the last 15 minutes of the webinar. Thank you. Anton, if you're ready, please feel free to share your screen.
Yes, thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Let me share my screen and start the presentation. Thanks again, Yasmin. Hello, everyone. First of all, it is truly amazing to see so many people from almost every corner of the planet. My name is Anton Dektev, and I'm going to talk to you about the ways how Digital Commons platform can make your research available to a global audience, increase its visibility, readership, and impact, and all of that according to open access principles. Digital Commons, or DC, is an online journal publishing platform that was built by bpress, a company that is now part of Elsevier family. And it was founded by two professors, one in law, one in economics, and they were not satisfied with the state of academic publishing at the time. So they wanted to solve a number of problems by creating Digital Commons. DC allows you not only to host journal content, but it can be scaled to an institutional repository that can make visible and discoverable all kinds of intellectual output that your institution produces. Nowadays, Digital Commons publishing community extends across journals, conferences, books, articles, multimedia archives of more than 600 institutions and 2,600 journals. And that number is still growing. Most of these journals, maybe 95% of them, are distributed under the open access model, meaning they are free to publish in, free to read, and reuse. Over the last 23 years, we learned these key factors for success that are ingrained in our offering. Let's start with the first one, professionalizing. DC provides a model for hosted journals Our design team partner with you to develop a unique professional design. We can support any language, and our hosted model means that you can trust in continuous availability for your journals. Our templates comply with all of Scopus technical requirements for journal hosting, not only Scopus. And you can check the examples of design for many journals yourself. You probably understand that just an appealing visual for a journal is not enough. Your journal should be visible and easily discoverable. This is where Digital Commons really shines and outperforms other platforms. Most often, as you may know, search, even academic search, starts here on probably Google or other search engines. And in many cases, people search for keywords or phrases rather than names of articles or journals. Our platform helps journals achieve maximum discoverability on the open web, and we perform very highly in keyword search, as shown in this example. Our major goal is to get you more readers. Digital Commons uses a variety of tools and strategies on several technological layers, from resilient system architecture at the foundation, specially adjusted web page structure and design, up to a search engine optimization. So that's on us. You don't worry about that at all. And all this is needed to ensure optimal discoverability of journal content. Efficiency of our approach is best illustrated on a specific example. In fact, here is an average customer experience statistics in terms of journal readership growth. We also see similar trends for the visibility and downloads of an individual article. This graph is for journal. And all of this eventually leads to material increase in citations. And what's more important, as our customer, you'll be able to see where exactly your new readers are coming from. DC enables editors to log into their own individual dashboards, like this one, and analyze or report on the geography of your new and growing audience. You can drill down to any region and see what papers from your journal people from certain university are reading. And you can even provide individual authors with their personalized dashboards or reports. In addition to dashboards, Digital Commons offers a full suite of impact tools, including real-time download maps on journal homepages and automated regular reports. PlumX metrics allows you to see views, downloads for abstracts or for full text, citations, both in traditional indices like Scopus, as well as citations that indicate societal impact, such as clinical or policy citations. It can inform you how readers interact with your research on social media, like Twitter or Facebook, or whether it was picked up by news outlets. We often hear that journals are under-resourced, understaffed, workload is constantly growing, so ease of use for all participants of the process is another important angle to consider. We don't just provide a front end for journal hosting. We have a complete submission system that lets editors fully manage their editorial processes. At the same time, we understand that each journal have individual needs, and we have customizable workflows that are unique for editors. We provide reviewer management, reporting features to help you build efficiency. Up to that point, we were focusing on technical features of our platform. But some people say that support and guidance that we provide may be even more important than the technology. So in addition to technical IT solution, you will also have access to the knowledge and expertise of our team of consultants. Our consulting services model is at the heart of understanding the value of digital commons solution and its success. Customer consultants are involved in the implementation, tech support, project management, and planning. And this is truly one of our major advantages. One last principle is that we've made scalability and growth sustainable and easy. There are several reasons for that. There is a dedicated development team that works on continuous platform improvements so that you don't have to worry about stability of the platform, updates, security, or search engine optimization. You'll have access to dedicated professional consultants, support, global best practices in journal development. And there are no limits for the content storage, nor for the number of customizations or support you'll be getting. So with that, you'll be able to focus on the core editorial tasks on quality of the content of your journal. While our emphasis is on discovery on the open web, when journal gets more established, they also can expand visibility and get attention from the professional audience by being accepted in relevant indices. DC journals can be found in the major databases like Scopus or Web of Science, as well as many disciplinary ones. Our templates make it very easy to comply with these indexing requirements. Last time I checked, there were 70 DC journals on Scopus, but maybe colleagues can update that number. So it's time for me to wrap up with basic introduction. And I wanted to emphasize that with almost quarter of a century history and thousands of happy customers, success stories, Digital Commons is a powerful and customizable platform that is optimized for web discoverability and open access. And with our experience, support, and consulting can help you advance your journal and get it to the next level for the years ahead. So I encourage you to listen to the presentation of Professor Ahmed and presentation of Promita. Professor Ahmed will be talking about how you'll be able to understand how this process that I was talking about and features, how this all looks like from the customer's perspective. And please talk to us, reach to us. We'd be happy to help and address your questions. We will share contact details later. And this concludes my presentation. Thanks again for your time. Yasmin, over to you.
Thank you very much, Anton, for the informative session. Thank you. Professor Ahmed will be continuing next. Professor Ahmed from University of Karbala. If you are ready, Professor, please feel free to share your screen.
Yes, I am ready.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I hope that you are all well and healthy. It pleases me to meet you and to introduce the Karbala International Journal of Modern Science. This lecture includes the following paragraph: Introduction to Karbala City and the University of Karbala. Introduction to Karbala International Journal of Modern Science. A success story of our journal. The next step of our journal, and acknowledgements. Karbala is a city in central Iraq, located about 100 kilometers southwest of Baghdad, the capital of Iraq, and a few miles east of Razaza Lake. Karbala is the capital of Karbala Governorate and has an estimated population of 700,000 of people. Karbala is one city of Iraq. The land of Iraq is often called the cradle of civilization because the oldest civilization in the world, the Sumerians, was found here. The Sumerians invented writing and started the first recorded history. For over 3,000 years, the Sumerians civilization flourished in the Tigris-Euphrates River Valley. The University of Karbala is a university located in the city of Karbala, Iraq. The university was founded in 22. The university has an impact role in the academic research. It contains 16 colleges, including College of Medicine, College of Pharmacy, College of Engineering, College of Agriculture, College of Law, College of Education, College of Science, College of Management and Economics, and other 8 colleges. Karbala International Journal of Modern Science is an open access, interdisciplinary, single-blind, peer-reviewed journal, consolidating research activities in all experimental and theoretical aspects of modern sciences. It is dedicated to the latest advancement in physics, chemistry, biology, computer science, and their related and subfields. It is an open access journal, and it has been indexed in the directory of open access journals. The journal has been established in 2015. In 2018, the journal has been indexed in Scopus. In 2019, this journal is indexed in Scimago Journal and Country Rank, with a rank of 36 among the multidisciplinary journals all over the world using the SJR criterion. In 2020, Karbala International Journal of Modern Science is ranked 17 among the multidisciplinary journals in the world using the CiteScore criterion. Publishing in our journal is free of charge. The goal of this journal is to provide a platform for scientists and academicians all over the world to promote, share, and discuss various new issues and developments in different areas of physics, chemistry, biology, and computer science. All manuscripts must be prepared in English and are subject to a rigorous and fair peer review process. The journal publishes original papers in the aforementioned fields of research. The journal aims in publishing articles of novel and frontier sciences that merit the attention and interest of the whole science community. The review process in our journal. All submitted papers will be initially evaluated by the editor-in-chief for suitability for Karbala International Journal of Modern Science. Manuscripts deemed suitable are sent to a minimum of 2 external peer reviewers to assess the scientific quality of the paper. After completing all reviewers' report, the handling editors makes a decision, either accept minor revision, major revision, or reject. The authors receive about 3 weeks to prepare the revision depending on the reviewer's comments. The authors should provide response to reviewers' comments, detailing any change for the benefit of the editors and reviewers. Some articles may have 2 or 3 rounds of peer review. The editor-in-chief is responsible for the final decision regarding the acceptance or rejection of articles. The editor's decision is final. I would like to call for reviewers. Researchers interested in reviewing for Karbala International Journal of Modern Science can now register their interest by emailing the editor-in-chief by this email or by this email, and include with your message the following information: a list of your latest publications, area of expertise, your motivation for choosing this journal for which to review, indicate your availability. Editors will review your email of interest. It is then up to the relevant editors to contact volunteer reviewers in order to request a review. The publication ethics of our journal. The Karbala International Journal of Modern Science and its editorial board fully adhere and comply to the policies and the principles of the Committee on Publication Ethics, COP. Any infringements of professional ethical codes, such as plagiarism, fraudulent use of data, bogus claims of authorship, should be taken very seriously by the editors with zero tolerance. An initial plagiarism check is carried out for every manuscript submitted to Karbala International Journal of Modern Science. The check starts with a standardized Google search. A detailed plagiarism check is performed for every submitted manuscript. Any manuscript received for review must be taken as a confidential documents. Privileged information or ideas obtained through peer review must be kept confidential and not used for personal advantage. Authors should ensure their work is entirely original and that any work and or words of others have been appropriately acknowledged. Submitting essentially the same manuscript to more than one journal constitutes unethical publishing behavior and is unacceptable. The submitted manuscript should not have been previously published in any form and must not be currently under consideration for publication elsewhere. The editorial board of our journal contains 55 editors, 4 editors from UK, 4 editors from Italy, 3 editors from USA, 3 editors from China, 2 editors from Greece, 2 editors from Singapore, in addition to the editors from Iraq and 21 other countries. The production and hosting of our journal are by Elsevier in the period 2015 to 2018. whereas the production and hosting of our journal are by the Digital Commons since 2019 till now. This figure shows the duration of review process in our journal. It is seen that in 2016, the submission to first decision is about 5 weeks, whereas the submission to final decision needs about 6 weeks. And in 2017, the duration of review process ranges between 3 to 4 weeks. And in 2018, the duration of review process ranges between 2 to 3 weeks, and so for the next years. This figure shows the acceptance rate in our journal. And in 2015, the acceptance rate is about 30%. And in 2016, it is about 8%. And in 2017, it is about 11%. And in 2018, it is about 5%. And in 2019, it is about 7%. The average acceptance rate of our journal at the last 7 years is about 15%. Digital Commons increase the readership of our journal, where the readers for the articles of our journal are distributed over 158 countries and 1,400 institutions. More than 29,000 downloads have been made all over the countries in the world, like Iraq, United States, India, China, Singapore, Germany, United Kingdom, Nigeria, Egypt, Indonesia, and other countries. Working with Digital Commons during the period 2019 to 2022 has offered surprising benefits that include an increase of journal visibility and impact, increasing citations and ranking of the journal. Young journal with need for stable platform, ambitious to quickly gain visibility, internationalization, and improve rankings may meet their requirements by working with Digital Commons. Digital Commons ensure hosted platform, designed website, metrics, and enhanced visibility. Premier services provide production, strategy, and technical infrastructure to achieve journal goals. By working with the Digital Commons, our journal achieved an increase in the site score by 620% in 2019 in comparison with 2018. And the increase in the site score is 800% in 2021 in comparison with 2018. To summarize the achievements of our journal by working with Digital Commons, we can confirm the following: an enhancement in the visibility, where there are 29,000 downloads have been made for 127 papers published. There is an enhancement in internationalization, where the readers are distributed over 158 countries and 1,400 institutions, including Microsoft, MIT, Taiwan Academic Network, and other famous institutions all over the world. The improvement after joining the Digital Commons includes acceptance in Scopus, Saimago, and the directory of open access journal. Remarkable increase in the site score. An increase in the percentile ranking from 27 to 86 in the site score of multidisciplinary category. Also, there is an increase of the citations of our journal, as shown in this figure. And an increase of impact score, as shown in this figure. There is an enhancement of site score and ranking of our journal by working with Digital Commons, where the rank of Karbala International Journal of Modern Science in 2020 is 17 among the multidisciplinary journals in the world using the site score criteria. In 2021, the site score of our journal increases from 3.5 to 4.5. We hope that the ranking of our journal is enhanced in this year. The next step is to try to index our journal in the Web of Science, where we have applied in the Web of Science Publisher portal in December 2021, and we hope that will be indexed in the Web of Science within a few months. Finally, I would like to express my deep thanks to the Digital Commons team, especially Promita, Michelle, Cobb, Jennifer Todd, Dr. Muhammad Muawad, Dina Salah, Yasamin, Sayyid Muhammad, Dr. Islam Khalil, Dr. Muhammad Juwaili, and others. Thank you very much for your kind listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Ahmed. That was definitely very inspiring. It was a great presentation, and I can see that there are a lot of questions coming towards your way in the chat as well. And we will now be continuing with our Director of Journals, Promita Chatterjee. Promita, you can start when you're ready. Professor Ahmed, can you please stop sharing right now?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmed, and thank you, Yasmin. Let me get my presentation. Yes, thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Thank you, Anton, and thank you to everybody who's here attending the webinar and for your lively engagement and questions. I am the Director of Journals for Digital Commons. I've been with Digital Commons for about 8 or 9 years, and I have the deep pleasure and honor of working very closely with editors that use our platform to create amazing success, just like the story that you heard now. I had a look at some of the questions that attendees for the webinar put into your registration forms, and I noticed that you have some very wonderful questions having to do with how to increase the traffic and visibility to the journals, how to increase submissions for your journals, how to create a smoother process for peer review. And I want to let you know that these are questions that are absolutely at the heart of the Digital Commons platform. These are the kind of things that I think about every day as we work on how to improve Digital Commons for the use of editors like yourself. So my part of the presentation today will be sharing a little bit about our vision for Digital Commons journals, and also what you can expect to see in terms of the improvement of the roadmap. So our vision, the Digital Commons vision, is to help institutions and journals increase the visibility and impact of the journal. So you saw a story from Dr. Abdul Latif, and in his partnership with the University of Karbala. We work with many, many other universities and other institutions that support journals in the same way. Let me move to the next slide. One of the things that we've seen over the many years that we've been supporting journals is that every journal will have their own journey. No two journals are the same. And we know that journals can grow. Digital Commons is able to support journals at every stage of their journey, whatever stage that they may be at. So perhaps there might be a journal that is just launching, a novice journal, and the goals and needs at that stage will be very different than a journal that is more advanced or expert, like Dr. Abdul Latif's journal, where it's already been able to be indexed, has been getting lots and lots of submissions, and is trying to scale at a different level. So one of the things that we think of is, how do we support all journals regardless of what stage of the journey that they're at? Next, I want to move to our roadmap, and I want to talk a little bit about where we're at and what we've been working on and what we're exploring for the future. In the past, we did some release, and we worked on some integrations with other peer review tools, with the editorial manager tool, which I'll talk about in just a minute. We also provided some new commercial tiers, which is one way of supporting all of the different journal at different stages. Currently, we're working on providing DOIs for all journals that are on Digital Commons. So that's something that we're building right now. And in the future, we have a few things on our radar. Not all of these are certain yet, but these are things that we're exploring to see if they would make some impact for the journals that are using the Digital Commons platform. And the top of this here is finding modern journal designs for journals, so kind of redesigning the user interface for Digital Commons journals. We're also looking at finding better and new ways to show off editor dashboards and metrics, so making it easier for editors to extract metrics from our dashboards. We're also thinking about creating one aggregated portal for Digital Commons journals, so that it's an easy way for authors, reviewers, editors to come and explore content on Digital Commons. And then finally, we know that journals need to be interoperable with all of the indexes and different discovery platforms in their regions. So we want to make some enhancements to make all of that process simple. Let me move on. I'm going to share a little bit more details of each of these that I just talked about. So we recently released some new tiers of publishing services. This will include some of the items that I talked about. So we are including DOIs now for most journals that are included on Digital Commons. Some of our services provide archiving in special industry standard archiving platforms. For the Premier and some of the upper tiers, we provide the integration with Aries Editorial Manager, and that includes a reviewer finder. And I know that it can be a struggle to find reviewers for many journals. So this integration provides a support in that sense. We also provide typesetting, and then finally advising, strategic advising for certain journals that want it. And these are available at different tiers. Let me talk a little bit more about the Editorial Manager integration. Editorial Manager is a peer review workflow system that is used by Cell Press, The Lancet, and many other publishers internationally. We provide an integration with Editorial Manager for our Premier and for our Professional Plus journals. And as I mentioned before, it provides integrated features for reviewer finding, plagiarism checking, which is powered by Similarity Check. I noticed that there was a question about plagiarism checking there. And we do recommend Similarity Check. It uses the Authenticate software. And that's a software that works very, very powerfully and very successfully for many of our journals. Editorial Manager also includes login using ORCID, so it simplifies the login process for authors. And it includes other elements that simplify that submission process, for example, metadata pre-population. We're also, another thing that I mentioned, we're expanding DOI registration. So this is something that are provided as free for standard journals on Digital Commons, as long as journals are edited by faculty members and have signed up for ISSNs. They are eligible to get DOIs automatically registered through our platform. And then a little bit more about what's on our horizons. I mentioned a few of these before, but I'll talk about them again. So right now, we are really interested in exploring what a modern journal design would look like for Digital Commons journals. As you saw from Dr. Abdul Latif's presentation, we already provide some wonderful elements of professionalization. However, we know that what is professional is constantly changing. And so we work very closely to keep our ear to the ground with our customers. And we're exploring some ways of making the Digital Commons journals even more lively and exciting. Number two, we're looking at a Digital Commons journals platform, Digital Commons journals portal, which would aggregate all of the journals in one space, create some ways for editors to be able to network. So bringing together networks that use the platform to talk about how they're developing their journals. And also a great place for potential authors and potential reviewers to come and explore journals that they'd like to be working with. And then a couple of the other things I mentioned, the editor dashboards and interoperability enhancements. These are all things that we're exploring. And then finally, we are always excited to hear from the community, from the publishing community, those of you that are publishing in the Diamond Open Access model. Please let us know what's on your radar. What are you seeing as the cutting edge in your world of publishing? And I would love to hear from you. I wanted to also share with you an event that we had last year, which has many more stories about the Diamond Open Access model. And you can see that the URL is down here at the bottom of the screen. You can learn more from our archives. All of the videos are there. And it's a great resource for editors that are looking to get started or looking to improve. There's presentations not only by editors on Digital Commons, but also from DOAJ, from Scopus, from Cielo and other platforms, talking about what are some of the elements that make a really successful journal. And with that, I want to share my email. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions, and I will stop sharing.
Thank you very much, Pramita. Thank you. It's always nice to see new releases coming on. Thank you for that. And okay, so we can continue onto the question and answers part. And I can
it's
see
good to
that
mention, Yasmin, several questions have already been answered.
Yes,
The Q&A,
yes.
but there's a few that are open and I think should be addressed by our speakers.
Okay. Thank you, Cohen, for that. And so having a look, so I can see there's a question from Mary, but I know Pramita answered this live regarding the plagiarism check one. So I think we're okay here. Also, okay, so we have a question from Saja Al-Mazrou regarding okay, the question is for Professor Ahmed, and they want to understand the methods of inviting reviewers. He's asking, do you invite using your personal network or using the journal Twitter account? Professor, maybe if you can emphasize on this part.
The platform of Digital Commons offer reviewer finder. That is what wonderful possibilities in Digital Commons. Using Web of Science journal finder. I think the question is about inviting the reviewers.
Yes, yes.
We invite reviewers making use of the Web of Science reviewer finders, which the Digital Commons offer for our journal.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I can add a little
please.
element to that if that helps. So Professor Abdul Latif uses the editorial manager peer review system, which is integrated with a reviewer finder tool. And that reviewer finder tool helps to expand his pool of reviewers that he already uses. So that's a tool that we help offer for as part of the platform as one of the higher tiers, if that helps.
Thank you very much, Pramita, for that. And going through the questions. Okay, so question maybe for Cohen and Pramita, both of you. They want to understand, does Digital Commons have the ability to host referred journals published in Arabic language?
I can chime in here. Yes, we can host journals that are published in Arabic language on the front end. The peer review tools on the back end are all in English, but if the journals are publishing articles that are in Arabic, those can be hosted on Digital Commons, and the front end of the journal can also be displayed in Arabic.
Thank you for that. And there is another question here for Professor Ahmed. I want to understand the differences. Okay, so they're asking, what differences are there between several subfields of the KJOMS in terms of reviewing of the Kerbala journal? In what way is, for example, the chemistry subfield different from the physics subfield?
Please repeat the question.
Okay, so they want to understand, okay, the subfields of the journal. So what differences are there between the several subfields in the journal in terms of reviewing? So for example, what is the difference between the chemistry subfield and the physics subfield?
As you know, the trend of the modern science is the matching between different fields of science, like physics, chemistry, biology. There is intermatching, and our journal like to publish articles which are contain intermatching between these fields of research.
Thank you very much, Professor. And I also have another question here. They're asking how we can support in helping the journal's application to Scopus, Web of Science, or other indexations.
I can chime in here.
Yeah.
So any journals that are hosted on Digital Commons are published by the institution or the society. We act as the host for the journal, the platform, but not the publisher. So ultimately, the responsibility for getting indexed in Scopus, Web of Science, DOAJ lies with the journal. However, we find that many of the journals that are on Digital Commons benefit from the visibility, the extra visibility that the platform provides. That drives readership and then ultimately drives more submissions and can help improve the quality of the journal. We also offer for those higher tiers, for the premier tier level, we offer strategic advising, which again does not guarantee indexing with Scopus or Web of Science, but helps act kind of as a coaching strategy with journal editors, so that editors have a chance to meet with us on a regular basis to learn about how to improve their journals and continue to do so.
Thank you, Paramita. Actually, I have another one towards you, or Cohen. Understanding, so they're asking, can we customize the reviewing workflow according to our processes?
Yes, absolutely. And that's one of the great things about Digital Commons. It's extremely customizable. As Anton mentioned, the platform was founded by two editors who were very much in the nitty-gritty of peer review. And the understanding from the beginning is that no two journals are the same in terms of the review workflow. So those are things that can be customized.
Thank you very much for that. And okay, also, there is one trying to understand, okay, what kind of decision support tools does the platform have?
So it has a standard decision support tool similar to all of, similar to Editorial Manager or Scholar One, the full peer review customization tools, which include submission, different, so it can support single or double blind peer review, and then many levels and many layers of communication with authors. And it can all be contained within the Digital Commons platform itself without any kind of additional need for emails.
Thank you on that one. Okay, going through here. Okay, there's also another question. How can you support with our journal's performance and provide recommendations? And also want to understand how we can support with journal's marketing strategy.
So similar to what I said a little earlier, we do for our premier tier offer some strategic advising that helps one-on-one discussions about performance. For journals that are on any of the other tiers, however, they do work with a consulting services representative, and that consulting services representative is not just a technical support person, but they are a real partner to the journal, and they can provide lots of examples of the thousands of other journals on Digital Commons, examples of how to present information, examples of how they've used social media, for example, like Twitter, to expand the reach of their journal, and other kinds of examples of how to improve. With marketing, again, we don't do traditional marketing services, but the platform itself acts as a way to digitally broadcast the journal by providing high search engine optimization, and so I would say that by virtue of being on Digital Commons itself, the journal is getting a big boost.
Okay, thank you, Paramita. And one last question, maybe Cohen, I can ask you this one. Can we customize the submission forms, adding and removing metadata fields to cater to our needs?
think that can probably still be best answered by Promita, who knows this in more detail, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I can answer all that kind of question. Yes, and the answer is yes.
Okay, thank you.
Simply put.
Thank you for that one. I'm just checking again through the questions.
I'm not sure if the question from Abu Bakr was
yes.
do you envision to have an article formatting feature in your horizon? I think that's
yes.
For product development as well, product roadmap.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, do you envision to have an auto article formatting feature?
Oh, yeah, actually that is something that's on my horizon. I didn't list it today, but if you have any examples or if you want to share something that you have in mind, I'm always excited to hear it. I'll put my email in the chat.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you, Promita. And okay, so we have a few minutes left. Maybe Cohen, from the questions you answered, is there anyone that you would like to maybe emphasize more on?
Well, there were quite a few questions like, people said, I'm really interested, I would like to work with DC. How is it working? Is that open access, so for free, or is it, but of course there is a subscription. This is a paid software based on an annual subscription. And of course, we would like to discuss a bit more in detail what kind of requirements and interest, see what options are available and what that would boil down to in terms of annual cost for your organization. And so happy to discuss that in more detail. So I think that was an important one that was raised several times. And I think, and there's still two questions open here that there's some mentioning about here, like I think cross-reference journals are good, but I'm not sure what the question is to that one. Does it ring a bell to you, Promita? Cross-reference journals are good?
No, maybe they're talking about journals on Crossref, so it sounds like it's a comment.
Maybe if they can emphasize more on what they want, if there's a question that wants to be asked, maybe.
Yeah. And in the meantime, another question as well. I think journals publication must be subjected to citation ranks, which is a bit cryptical to me as well. Maybe
sounds like another comment. So thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, the other questions were answered already in the Q&A, I think, by typing or by answering during the webinar discussion.
Thank you very much, Cohen. And I think we have answered all the questions. Is there any other ones that you would like to ask? Please write in the Q&A or chat, or we will be closing this webinar. I think we are good. And for any further questions that you have, please feel free to contact our regional marketing manager, Mohammed Said, and you can see his email address on chat as well. So, thank you for that. I think we are done. Firstly, Professor Ahmed, thank you very much for your time. It was really nice listening to you. Thank you, as always. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you. Thank you, Anton. Thank you, Promita. Thank you, Cohen. Thank you, Said. Thank you very much. It was a good webinar. Thank you all. And for the audience, please wait for other invitations for the upcoming webinar series. As we said, this is the first one, so we will be making more of these, hopefully. So hope to see you in the upcoming ones as well. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Bye.
Yasmin. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.